set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fall.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Friday, November 8th, 2024, and you're watching the Loose Cannons podcast presented by the 813.tv. That is the URL for our brand new website featuring Bucs content, videos, articles, everything you could possibly need to be up to date and the smartest Bucs fan in the room. So check that out, www.the813.tv. I'm your boy, Sammer, hanging out with the one and only, the barefoot absolute bandit. I mean, absolutely disgusting human being. The pale one, stank fucking bastard. No latte tonight. Some last minute, family stuff came up. He's got to be there for his son. Totally support that. So here we are, Stank, back from Kansas City. Okay.
Yeah.
We have some fun stories to tell you guys, but we want to do it with latte on the show, so we're going to do it next week. But Sunday, Bucs 49ers. This is an article I put up early this morning saying how this is a must-win, seemingly, for not just the Bucs, but probably for Todd Bowles and his future here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I firmly believe that. And it starts every single week. It starts out on the defensive side. The defense is the Achilles heel of this team at this point. So we're going to start there, Stank. Like, what do we got to do, man? What do we got to do in terms of this game facing this 49ers offense?
Right.
They're not exactly, fully loaded like they usually are, but they're still somehow putting up numbers. They're still considered a top 5 offense across the board. They're doing a lot of good things. They're running the ball well. They're passing the ball well. Brock Purdy's, not looked amazing, but he's passed for over 2,000 yards in like 9 games so far. So, 8 games. But it comes down to Todd, comes down to the defense. If we can stop these guys, and I firmly believe he's got to be aggressive in this game for the Bucs to have a chance.
The first and foremost, Todd Bowles isn't getting fired during the season. I see you.
No, I didn't say during the season. No, that's not what I meant. I said this game will go a long way towards what happens at the end of the year.
Maybe. Perspective a little bit. I mean, this is one of the better runs this franchise has ever had under Todd Bowles. Despite, all the circumstances. Yes, we had the GOAT for a hot minute, but I don't think it's such a slam dunk thing. I think what really puts it under question is the success of Liam Cohen at this point. That's where the pressure is being applied, I think, on Todd, because knowing the Glazers and knowing how they like to hire within and they love up and coming coordinators and things like that. Maybe that's where some pressure's coming in, but I still think it's premature. We still got a lot of season left, whether we lose this game or not. I still think we could potentially end up winning this division. I still think Atlanta's not great. So I'm not giving up on Todd quite yet.
It's not that. It's if his side of the ball continues to struggle and then the other side of the ball continues to not struggle when it should be struggling, and it has 2 massive built-in excuses, but it's not struggling, then that's going to become a tough, conversation that's going to have to happen. And that's mostly why I say this game will go a long way. Todd's got to figure out a way to turn this defense around. I think he's capable. I think it comes down to the players as well as it comes down to him. But my thing with him is Todd's got to be aggressive for that to happen. He's got to put Jordan Whitehead and Levante David in as the linebackers and blitz. When he did that against the Kansas City Chiefs, when he's done it throughout the year, good things have happened. He's got to help his pass rush. And please, for the love of God, keep Vita Vea and Kancey out on the field more than 50% of the time. Let them play. Let your best players play. And they're our best pass rushers right now. They had tons of pressure up the middle against Patrick Mahomes. You're going to need that against Brock Purdy. But, I mean, that's what they need this week for sure. They need an aggressive approach, man coverage, man press. And you know what? If you get beat on the outside with the young corners, at least you're trying to kill the other team as opposed to sitting back. Kelsey had like 11 catches, 14 catches, some nonsense like that. Well, guess what? Guess who's coming to town? Guy named Kittle. Okay? George Kittle is easily as capable, if not more capable, considering he's not as old as Kelsey, to do the same type of stuff. And their offense is built to get him the ball. And of course, they've got Debo. They've got the return of CMC. Brock Purdy is not an idiot, even though he's
I'm not
throwing
ready
some
to talk about that
interceptions.
game yet. I'm not ready to talk about that game yet. I'm not. Well, we need to continue to talk about.
You want to
what
talk
you
about the
did-
Chiefs?
No, I
Or-
want to talk about Todd Bowles. You brought it up.
That's what this entire conversation is about.
No, you brought
is
your
defense.
article up. You brought your article up, and it alludes to this being a must-win game for Todd. We're not ready to move on yet. We need to speak on that right now.
It is a must-win.
It is not a must-win. Stop with that
It's a
shit.
must-win. You're crazy.
King Cook says in the chat, this is not a division-winning team nor a playoff team. Did we not just go to overtime with the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs? Did we not beat the Eagles and the Lions? We can beat good teams. We are definitely not playing well on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the secondary. But depleted as fuck, and we nearly won that game. Maybe we go for two, we win that game. So I wouldn't make these blank statements quite yet. There's still quite a few games to be played after the bye. The schedule gets easier, and if we get on a roll and we get some momentum, we get Mike back.
Stank. This is an NFC opponent. Okay, yep. We're basically 3 games behind the Atlanta Falcons right now.
Okay,
you can't lose this game because again, you need it for that. There's only so many wild card spots, and if we don't look like we're going to win this division, we have to be able to go toe to toe with the other wild card teams. And guess what? One of those teams is the San Francisco 49ers.
We're not winning a wild card. We need to win this division. I
understand that, but that's why this. But that makes it a must win. That makes the game a must win. It absolutely is.
Absolutely not. Atlanta goes on a couple game losing streak. No. Forget the head-to-head and tiebreakers. Okay, fuck that. We could still win this division. We can.
This is a must win. Todd has to show that he can turn this nonsense around on his side of the ball. If he has another game, a 4-game losing streak, while his defense looks like garbage, another game in a row like this, giving up ridiculous amounts of yards, not being able to stop anybody on third down. Yes, it's a must win for him. He has to prove that he. What are you talking about, man?
People is not
want him fired already. I don't agree that he should be fired yet. I'm not even saying that.
Fans on Twitter want him fired?
I'm not saying.
Who's people?
The fans, a lot of people, media, all that, like all the people. I'm not the people that matter, but my point is still,
not the people that matter.
The point remains.
Exactly.
It's only going to get more and more difficult if the other side of the ball continues to do well, but we're losing games because of his side of the ball. He's the head coach and the defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. If the defense continues to fail, that's a conversation that has to happen. Why are we holding on to this side of the ball while this side's doing just fine? So it is a must win. Because of that. Because of that, it is. Yes, it is. And if it's a loss, he at least has to go out there and show defensive prowess from his guys and it's from his unit. At the minimum.
It's all about wins and losses. And this game right here before the bye isn't going to make or break our season, nor is it going to make or break. At this point, the Glazers probably have their minds made up already. And it's going to be about what happens at the end of the season. Is Todd able to win, salvage the season? Are we able to ultimately win this division? That's where we stand. Is it going to make it a lot harder if we lose this game? Sure, but doesn't make it a must win.
It's a must win. Sorry. Now let's fast forward now to the 49ers game.
Right.
Okay. I said in this game against this offense that's coming to town, they don't look or feel like the 49ers, but they're still pretty damn good. I mean, I believe they have the 6th scoring offense. They have the 2nd total offense. They're 4th in passing, which, again, they're doing this without their guys all kind of playing healthy and all together. They're 4th in rushing, which is a massive part of what the Bucs have been struggling with this year somehow, some way. I think it's because they don't play their guys enough. And, of course, Brock Purdy has looked kind of average, but he's thrown for a lot of yardage, 10 touchdowns, 7 picks. And more importantly, he has been an absolute beast against Todd Bowles' defense. In 2 games, 80.4% completion rate, 518 yards, 6 total touchdowns in 2 fucking games against Todd Bowles. So in this case, we cannot do what we've done the last 2 games, which has been play zone, let him pick us apart. I think Todd has to come out here and be aggressive. Don't worry about KJ Britt's feelings. I don't care if it's JJ Russell or whoever. I don't think any of those guys played well enough to be the guys to go in. I think it should be Jordan Whitehead in obvious passing downs, put that dime defense in there and blitz those guys, man. Get after him, man press, make it tougher. Make the passes and the windows tougher. Try to reroute those guys and throw off the timing. And if you get beat, like I said, you get beat, man. I'm okay living with that as opposed to just getting destroyed 14 catches by one human being for 100 yards, just methodically beating the shit out of us down the field over and over and over again. I can't watch it, man. Cannot watch it. Blitz, good things happen.
Yeah, I'm not hopeful about this game. Only for all the reasons you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Todd and Mike, it's a mismatch. It's looked easy for Brock Purdy, even going up against the GOAT and what Brock's family's in the fucking thing. Like we all remember that matchup, right? This is Todd. If Todd has the horses to stop this offense, then he needs to come up with a masterful game plan. But there's a lot of holes on this defense. Okay, yes, Todd isn't finding the right recipe either, but our outside guys just aren't getting any pressure. The linebacker play outside of Levante has been embarrassing. It's been a rotating fucking door at corner. We all think Jordan Whitehead's playing injured, but he really hasn't been impactful. And I think Antoine's just trying to keep shit together back there and really not able to do what he does best because there's just so many other pieces that seem to fucking fail. The depth on our interior defensive line is dreadful. And then the rotation on the outside is awful. So yes, it's on Todd. Those are his guys. That's his defense. But we see where the failures are coming from, whether it's Todd not calling the right plays, not getting the right guys out on the field, or us just not having the depth and the horses on defense. Nobody knows, except for the guy in the building.
But I think we have talent, Stank. But when you play Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey 50% of the time, what are you expecting to happen? In that Kansas City Chiefs game, anytime those two guys are on the sideline, the Chiefs every single time ran the ball right up the middle. And they knew exactly, hey, Vita's not in, we're absolutely running the ball. They had a drive that ended up in a touchdown where they only threw the ball one time, and it was Kareem Hunt down the field 5 yards at a time. And where were Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey? On the sidelines until they hit a third down, which only happened once on that entire possession. So again, why? Why are we doing that? Like, we have our best two guys. They rush the passer the best. The pass rush looks the best when they're in the game, regardless of how bad our outside guys are. Okay? And why would you not put those guys in, those horses, to help your corner, to help your linebacker? I know they're open in the middle of the field, but come on, dude. It doesn't make any sense.
I think you answered your own question. That's all we got, really. You can't count on the outside guys to get there, and he wants to keep those guys as fresh as possible, and he's not willing to burn them out and keep them in there constantly so they are a no-show in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. Somehow, some way, we're still in these games at the end of the game. Somehow, some way, that's probably enough justification for him to continue to do what he's doing. We know we've lost 2 games in overtime that we never got the ball. So only Todd knows. Only the guys in that room know. But if I had to guess, he's not willing to burn guys out. He's going to continue to stick with the rotation. That's such a fucking huge drop off from Vita and Kancey to, CJ fucking Brewer Johnson and whoever else, Will Golston and Greg Gaines and some guys that I don't even know. Guys, every week we got a new guy in there. I don't know who they are, but they just show up. But he's just not willing to burn those guys out. And we got a super chat from Big Ali Martinez says, Bucs will win this game. Let's fucking go 5-5 before the bye. I hope so. But yeah, I'm sucking pessimism right now. I think I got sick. sick.
I'm battling.
You guys hear my voice? I haven't been good. I've not been good since something stuck to the bottom of my foot in that bar in Kansas City. I don't feel good, guys.
Yeah.
I don't feel good.
So we could probably talk about this defense for the entire show. But last thing I'm going to say is, if your corners are struggling, in my opinion, putting those guys in zone doesn't help them if you're also going to not put in your best pass rushers. You've got to be able to get pressure. And so far, Vita and Kancey have been the guys that have done that, and they've delivered it more consistently than anybody else. And they do help the guys on the outside look a little bit better, look a little bit more competent. When Jordan Whitehead and Levante were blitzing, we were stopping Patrick Mahomes. So I think that should be the recipe. Man press, make the windows tighter. It doesn't take a very good quarterback to beat that type of zone. But when you go up against really, really good quarterbacks, it's like just playing catch in their backyard at this point. And you can't do that with Purdy. You got to get into Purdy's face. You got to make his throws tough. You got to make those windows tighter and hope that you could get a couple of bounces to go your way. That's really how it is, in my opinion. And if you get beat, then you get beat. They don't have Brandon Ayuk, which helps. But Debo is obviously Debo. He's the yak, monster when he touches the ball. But I think we have just enough if we can at least pressure it and make those throws not as easy right off the bat. You can't just stand back there, boom, the guy's wide open every single time. Man press, man. Fucking just, and then rush your guys. In the Chiefs game, Stank, when they rushed 4 and they had, what's his name, blitzing, one or the other, either Whitehead or Levante, and even when they didn't blitz them, their front 4 worked better than when they had the backups in and they were trying to throw exotics and rush 3 and have, 98 dropping back into coverage. Like, fuck all that shit, dude, man. Rush 4, press those receivers, and live with the results, man. I think that's the way to beat this team. But that's the way to beat a lot of teams. You can't just let them have their way with that zone nonsense, man.
That sounds great. But the other team gets paid too, and
I get it.
Unfortunately, we're facing a guy gives a lot of people problems, an offense who gives a lot of people problems. And without Ayuk, they still got shit ton of fucking weapons. And they're going to get McCaffrey back. Oops. And they're coming off a bye. They're so fresh. I saw Brock Purdy out there fishing, doing yoga, fucking smoking weed and doing DMT. They're coming in here. We're fucking licking our wounds. Maybe they'll be rusty. Maybe they won't. But I wasn't really paying attention to anything you said because Susan dropped the bomb in the chat. And we need to speak to this live on camera. We do this all the time. We talk through our bullshit live on air. Susan said never sit next to Sammer at a game. Okay. We all know what that comes from. You owe Susan an apology, you abusive piece of shit.
No
right
way,
now,
dude.
on air.
Me and Susan were fine in the stadium. We were fine.
No, she's still hurting. Still hurting.
Nah,
I love you, Susan. Yeah, I love you, Susan. I almost punched Sammer in the face that night for you.
Nah.
But you'll never get an apology out of this piece of shit. So, anyways, Sammer the abuser, Callie said. Normally, Callie Bucks is going off on me. Right now, he's white knighting for Susan.
Hell yeah.
Incredible.
Hey,
and Jonas, no, I haven't given Poppy the cup yet. I'm never going to give it to him. It's my cup now. Sorry.
We've talked about our defensive line. We got to talk about the other guys, man. They got a guy named, you ever heard this last name, Bosa? That ring a bell, Stank?
Is he like a politician or something? I don't know.
I mean, might as well be. Might as well be.
Okay.
He's having himself a good week. I'll tell you that much. Tristan and the boys got to be ready for Bosa. The entire defensive line, the entire front 7 actually of the Niners, but Bosa especially is coming for Tristan, coming for Luke Gedeke. I think those two dudes are going to be ready. But man, that's a massive point in this game. If they even let him have fun out there, it's going to be a long day for Liam Cohen, Baker Mayfield, and the offense that right now, Cade Otton is wide receiver 1 and tight end 1 for this team. We have nobody else who's playing wide receiver seemingly, and if you get pass rush on Baker, it's going to make us look absolutely terrible.
This is a true story. You get the beast in the middle last week. You get the outside guys this week. It never gets easy. But I feel like the strength of this team, weirdly enough, is the offensive line. We know kind of that Liam's going to have a game plan. If Baker continues to play like he's playing right now, we're going to score points even on that defense. They're going to get theirs. We're going to get ours. And as long as good Baker shows up, which he has for almost the majority of the fucking season. But guys like that seem to wreck things. So you just hope that they can protect and get our weapons. All those weapons you were naming for them, we got those guys too, right? No, it's Cade Otton. Cade Otton, the crash test on me, bro. Tell me every time he gets hit,
Crash test Otton.
Oh, yeah. Every single time, like, oh no, he just broke his spine in half, and
Just
Cade
pops
gets
right back up.
every single time, like that.
He's got rubber bands for freaking bones, dude.
Somebody check on Cade Otton, bro. He's got to have a broken something in his body right now because there's just no way everybody in here owes him an apology. Everybody who's ever talked shit on his name and said we need to upgrade. Cade is proved right now. Crash test Cade.
Crash test Cade, dude.
Crash test Cade. Honestly, all the fucking respect in the world. Without you right now, I don't know who would be throwing the ball to because it's not Trey Palmer. I don't want to see you anymore, Trey. Shut your fucking mouth. I don't care if you woke up angry. How about wake up productive? Do something, bro. Catch a fucking pass.
How about wake up and then when you catch a ball, just walk back to the huddle, dude. Like,
do anything.
Every time he catches the ball, if it's on the sideline of the opposing team, he spends 2 minutes talking to them. Dude, get back to the fucking huddle, man. You have not earned any right to talk shit at all.
Have you ever seen a guy do less and talk more shit? No.
It's unreal, dude. It's crazy.
And produce.
Yeah, they're not happy with what he did last year. That's why they went and got a guy in Jalen McMillan, who they are not happy with what he's currently doing right now. So right now, Sterling Shepard is the go-to wide receiver, which says a lot considering we don't even go to him because he's also rarely open.
He made some nice catches. That
last drive, he waited until the very final offensive possession to do anything that mattered outside of an end around for a first down earlier in the game. But right now, it's Cade Otton, dude. It's Cade Otton, but none of that's going to happen if we don't stop that guy Bosa, who is coming, dude. He's having a lot of fun. This is a massive week for him. Yeah.
He's coming all right.
It's a massive week for him. I mean, if we could slow him down, make sure he doesn't get in the way, which I'm very confident Tristan and Luke could do. But again, he can stun. He can go other places. Graham Barton has not met him yet. So we're going to see moments where we're going to figure out ways to get him out there. They have a good defensive line overall. On top of that, they have a good front seven. They still got Fred Warner. This defense is still pretty damn good. They can be beaten, though. They can be beaten.
Can they handle Buck and Tuck plus Rashad on the field at the same time? Liam is a wild man, bro. He is. He's out there doing shit. It doesn't matter. He's just like, I don't care. I'll use anybody, anywhere, anytime. I just need weapons. And whoever out here is willing to play hard and is good at football, I'm going to put you on the fucking field all together. So that's why I know this kid's going to have he's going to get into his ugly book, all ugly, and just angry at the fact that he has no weapons to play with. And he's going to come out there and surprise the 49ers. And, like I said, I'm not really worried about that side of the ball. Oddly enough, we should all be like crying in our fucking Cheerios right now, but we're not. We're worried about the defense who has guys that have been here forever. And it is unfortunate. And I get why Todd's head is on the chop and block with fans, because they're tired of seeing it too. So
before we leave the offense, though, I got to ask you a question. Okay. We talked a little bit about these guys. So Cade Otton, obviously the target that Baker's looking at the most. Wide receiver one, tight end one. Who else on this team do you think could possibly emerge this Sunday as wide receiver two? Who else can pop in and have himself a game and help Liam, help Baker out, help the running backs out? It could be Rachaad White out of the backfield, possibly. Could it be Raheem Jarrett, who I think deserves way more looks, way more touches?
We all agree on that.
Is that the guy you think could emerge, should emerge?
I think he will eventually emerge, but it's going to be Scotty Miller. He's going to come out. He's going to put his Scotty Miller 2, whatever his name is. That guy right there. I just feel like it's his game for some reason. It's time for him to shine out there. We won a Super Bowl with a Scotty Miller before, so having a new Scotty Miller, Baker's already got chemistry with this guy, so that's who I think is going to ultimately step up with this. But Raheem Jarrett clearly is the most talented receiver we have out there on that field right now. I don't know why he's not focused on more, and maybe it's just because he seems to always be working his way back from fucking injury too. So that potentially is it. But when the ball's in his hand,
dynamic,
you can tell he's different. So
he puts his foot in the ground, he goes.
Yeah,
he's got speed. I mean, why aren't we running? I'm perfectly fine taking away every rep that they give to Trey Palmer and giving it to this kid. Because when he catches the ball, he's violent, which I absolutely fucking love. He runs like a running back, but he's north and south, man. Doesn't jitter, doesn't waste time, doesn't waste motion, just goes. Kinetic energy ready to fucking explode once the ball touches that kid's hand. Get him the ball. Get him the fucking ball and let him do his thing. We saw last year in Green Bay what he was able to do. Do it again. Or is that Dave Moore, actually? No, I thought it was Raheem Jarrett. Was it not? I could be wrong. Either way, kid's violent when he touches the ball. I think he should be a guy that could possibly step up. But I totally disagree with you on Scotty Miller. Kid had one lucky catch in that game. No, I don't like.
There's no luck. No, there's no luck in football. All right, nobody gets lucky out there. He's a grinder, right? He's a grinder. He's in there in the film room. You know that guy. He didn't get here on accident. He's a hard worker. All those cliches that you say about white receivers,
he's got them all. He's checking them all off.
All those things, right? Right. And you know what? You got to face another up and coming white receiver, gunshot wound, Ricky Pierce on the other side. And so there's a match. It's like an unspoken thing. Who's going to be the best?
Air Cecil in the chat makes a great point, and I was about to say this exact same thing. They should try him in that Chris Godwin role because he's so physical. He's so violent. I would love to see Jarrett be the guy that gets dirty, passes across the middle, those tough catches, those contested catches. You got to grab and you just get absolutely rocked once you catch it. I think he's built for it, man. I think we need to try something different. Obviously, there's not much going on that's wrong on that side of the ball, but you do need eventually to be able to throw the ball to a wide receiver, man. It can't be 3.5 quarters of running back swing routes and passes and tight end screens and Kate Otten bailing you out every third down, even though he's awesome somehow with no gloves. But at some point, you got to be able to get the ball to a wide receiver. Otherwise, teams are going to do what the Chiefs did, which is just sit 8 guys in the box and dare you to beat them, maybe two guys back. And if you can't run the ball, you're not going to beat them. But that's the other thing, too. I do think that we have the ability to run the ball, which is working this season regardless. But
did we just not run the ball against the number 1, number 2 rush defense last week? Fairly successful.
And we did it the week before that. We did it to the Ravens as well. We've done it consistently. I believe we're 11th or 10th in the league as a rushing offense. So, and that's going to help Baker Mayfield be Baker Mayfield, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. Baker has to continue being turnover free. He's got to continue being that guy out there that's leading these dudes, keeping everything kind of on schedule. He looks like a coach on the field the last couple of games. He's just kind of, especially in Kansas City, he looked very dialed in, very leader-esque, very just stoic was probably the best word I could probably describe for him. And he made plays. He didn't cost us the game. And he got rid of the ball on time, got rid of the ball to the guys he's supposed to get the ball to.
Under duress, man. We had absolutely. That view. The pocket was crazy.
Terrifying, dude.
Baker's smaller than you think. Like, you see him behind that line and you're eye level with the field and you got those giants coming at him. It's a wonder how he sees guys, how he can find passing lanes. This shit's incredible when you get, guys like that size. But a couple names have been thrown out in the chat as far as who's going to step up. Some guy named McMillan. I think I heard of him like during the preseason.
He might not even play this week, guys.
I don't know.
He's been a massive disappointment. I'm so sorry.
Massive, we may as well call Kenny Bell up and see what he's doing, honestly, because same guy to me right now. You also do something, right? You had all the hype. Everybody said you're the next, so you were the number 1 receiver at Washington. You should have been drafted in the first round. Show it. Show something. Do something. Help Baker out back there. Baker.
How about get on the field? How about do what you're supposed to do from Sunday to Sunday to make sure your body's healthy enough to be on the field? How about take your rehab seriously? How about all that stuff? To get on the field, and then you can make a difference. And when you're on the field, the times he's been on the field, he has done absolutely nothing. He's been lazy in his route running, in my opinion. He has not looked good. Ball hits his hands. I mean, he cost us an interception. I believe it was in New Orleans. That ball, it just hits him flat in the hands, pops up somehow. Can't do that stuff, man. I get you're a rookie, but I'm not even worried about Jalen McMillan, man. It didn't even register as an option.
Guys, I'm not worried about any of them. Cam Johnson. You can continue to name all the guys that have just tried to find their way into this rotation. Baker clearly doesn't trust any of them, which is why they're not catching passes. He trusts Sterling Shepard. Sterling's a weirdo, but I guess he is our best option at wide receiver right now, and everybody else is just waiting for Mike to get back. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, to have such an opportunity for any one of these guys. To have Chris go down, have Mike go down, that's something you got to grab by the horns. You don't get that opportunity in terms of those guys to ever be on a team where both dudes go down. You have a chance at both spots, and they're just not even coming close to seizing the opportunity. And it says a lot about who they are that Liam Cohen is designing an offense to pass the ball to running backs and tight ends and not even look down the field at these guys. They're out there running cardio.
Liam plays no favorites. It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
If you produce, you will get the ball. If you talk, great. Have fun in the locker room, but you're not getting the ball. And I think Bake and Liam are so connected with that they build a game plan around that, and they seem to still be able to be productive, which is absolutely crazy. Never in a million years, I think we go to KC, score 30 fucking points, take them to overtime, and potentially have a chance to win that game with
we scored 24 points.
Whatever I'm gonna say 30. Whatever.
Okay,
Close enough.
Any last thoughts on Baker in this game in terms of what he's got to do? Turnover free, being the dude, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, like we said, don't try to be the dude. Don't try to be the Superman out there. That's when he gets himself in trouble. I think he probably knows that by now. And if we can keep it manageable, he doesn't have to go out there and play hero ball. If the run game is fairly successful, and we're in second and you know what, and whatever your thing, right? Or we're in third.
Just say second and fun.
No, I won't say it. I'm gonna say it.
Say second and fun.
Say
second and fun. Say it.
No. How about
say it.
How about the barbecue in KC though?
How about you say second and fun? That barbecue was fun.
Barbecue. Shout out to Joe's. Thank you for the barbecue. Delicious fucking barbecue.
Absolutely phenomenal food, dude. Absolutely. All right, Stank. It's Friday night. Game is on Sunday. I don't know why.
Did you say like and subscribe? Did you say we're here on Friday night and you and everybody in here should like and subscribe and get their mom's phone and like and subscribe on their mom's phone too? Especially you, Cali Bucks, because I know you live in your mom's basement. Grab her phone. Grab whatever Cricket wireless phone you have laying around in there. Subscribe on those phones too.
Yeah, Stank.
Yeah.
Sunday's game. Keys to victory and your score prediction, man.
Keys to victory. Once you throw my graphic up on there, because I forget what I told you. I forget what I told you just 2 hours ago. Just throw my graphic up there. You know what?
I'll read them off to you, and you can give a little bit more to them.
Right. Yeah.
First Stank key to the game is make it ugly, because the Bucs won't win a Purdy game.
I did that. That was the dad joke. Sammer, I'm sure, giggled.
I appreciate it.
I like it. Yeah, Liam and the offense needs to make it ugly. Defense needs to get out there, throw fists, throw hands. They have to fly all the way over here. They're out of the fight, right? We're still bloodied and scarred and all fucked up. So we need to make it a fight, make it dirty. Kick Bosa in the nuts a couple times. Just make it nasty out there and hopefully keep it in a phone booth. That kind of game. That's the kind of game this needs to be.
Your second key of the game: feed Cade Otton.
Feed him, bro. Feed that big old crash test dummy Cade Otton. I want to see him like, you remember the old fucking logo from Jackass? That needs to be Cade's logo. Shout out, to you, Cade. Obviously we got connections behind the scenes, and I can make that happen. I honestly can make that happen. I know a guy who colors and draws for a living, so holler at me. But yeah, feed Cade, bro. He's the only hope we got. That's it. Just feed Cade.
He's not even really that open. He's just his hands with no gloves. The whole he's catching it in the rain. I mean,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, I hated on him a couple of times, but I did have a feeling he was going to have a better year than he did last year. So far, trajectory, absolutely. Obviously, Mike not playing in games has helped him be the guy that gets the target shares, but still proven to be the dude right now, which is surprising. Top 10 tight end in the NFL, Stank. And your final key to the game, the Bucs special teams need to get off the short bus.
Yep, my light just went off because it's obviously on the short bus. And whoever that punter is, like, I love you, Jason Light. Okay? I love you, bro. I tried to kiss you on the mouth at one time. I love you that much. What are you where are you finding these guys? Who is this guy?
What are we doing?
Who the fuck is this guy, bro? Can you find a worse punter? I promise you, Chamberlain High School's got somebody to kick like that kid right now. Get that guy out of here right now, whoever that is, and find somebody else, because he sucks.
Yeah. That punt he had against the Chiefs that went like 25 yards.
What was that, bro?
Holy shit, dude. We were seeing it from the back, and he just looked like it went straight up and came right back down to wherever he was. Like, it says a lot that they went with him, and then they cut third leg Camarda there. So obviously something going on with that kid's mentals that they had to go this route. But man, dear God, you telling me you can't find a better punter right now? This guy is absolutely terrible. Not only are they short, but they're not even high. We're like, they're short and they're low trajectory to where anyone who catches him has a legitimate chance to take it back, which is terrifying because we have terrible special teams coverage on top of it.
We really do. We really do.
Just terrible.
And it matters. It really does matter. And all these games are close, and we have lost essentially all of the hidden yardage shit. Like, we just give up all. We actually had a pretty decent return this game. Was that Trey Palmer? I don't remember who it was.
Yeah,
anybody?
The only thing he's done, I believe. So
only
far.
thing he's ever done. The only thing he's done the entire season. Cody Mock's uncle said, "Find a McPunter. Find a McPunter. It's got to be easy, bro."
What about? Hold on.
Working at McDonald's right now.
What if we took McKicker and had him also McPunt?
Where's Mark Royals? I haven't heard from that guy in a while.
How about the two punters that are in the league right now kicking for other teams that used to be Buccaneer punters? How about those dudes? I believe one of them's in Atlanta, still kicking damn well. Kicked the fucking Butte against us at home 2 weeks ago. I don't like it. Opinion was his name, I believe. Remember, everyone was blaming him for the missed extra points. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, his opinion. So then, like, let's cut that guy instead of figure out, kicker that can kick the ball. Yikes. I remember that theory.
I
hate
kickers so
score
much.
prediction before I give my keys. Go ahead, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I told you I've been super down this week. I'm still lagged somehow. Like I said, I probably got some kind of fucking Kansas City parasite rolling through my body right now. And that's not even a joke. I'm pretty sure I'm going to die before the game. But if I happen to be here during the game, I'm not hopeful. And maybe Sammer's right. Maybe this could be the last game for Todd to show he belongs here, right? Because you got that sexy bitch on the other side calling plays, and everybody wants a piece of that ass right now. So keep it ugly, keep it low scoring, 31-12 Bucs in the end. Honestly.
I knew it, man. I fucking love it. Fucking knew it, man. All right, my keys of the game, Stank. My keys of the game starts up front on the offense. Luke and Tristan. Boys got to contain Nick Bosa, man. Got to contain Nick Bosa. He is a game wrecker. Okay, we saw what a game wrecker can do in Detroit. Much different scenario now that Luke Gedicke's out there. Looks to be back to his old self. The offensive line is a strength of this team somehow. Keep that man out of the backfield as it relates to passing the ball. Baker Mayfield's got to stay clean in this game, in my opinion. Otherwise, he's going to be feeling it. And last thing you want is for him to feel like he's got to win the whole thing on his own. And you got a guy like Fred Warner waiting to catch that pass. Super opportunistic linebacker who makes plays across the board. Last thing we need is for jittery Baker or hero ball Baker to show up with that guy around there. I think if they can keep him upright and keep Bosa out there, I think they have a chance on the outside to take advantage of this defense.
Sammer, can we all agree that Bosa's a cheater, right? That guy does every drug. All of them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Everybody in the chat agrees. Everybody in the chat agrees that guy's a cheater, right?
I'm pretty sure the whole family. I'm pretty sure it's the whole family.
Yeah.
They're like they're the Watt wannabes, in my opinion. Like, they want to be the Watts so badly, but they're not. They're just not. But they are pretty damn good at pass rushing. I'll still give them that much. But cheating does. You're not trying. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Definitely a cheater.
Yeah. Second key of the game: run the fucking ball. Just run the fucking ball. In the Chiefs game, the offensive line was having its way with that defensive line of the Chiefs and their linebackers, even with 8 men in the box. We were running the ball. I still think we should have leaned into that a little bit more, but the 1 or 2 drives we did, we moved the ball down the field. The play action was even more of a bite heavy for the linebackers. Do it this week. Run the ball right at this defense, and I guarantee you good things will happen. And Baker Mayfield is a completely different quarterback when his running backs are doing their thing. You got all these crazy misdirection plays with Rashad and Bucky in the backfield. You got options for both of them to go. Get Sean Tucker in there. Get him leaning on these guys. You got to use all three, in my opinion. But when they've got this pony package with him, Rashad and Bucky out there together, man, Liam is a mad scientist with that package. It's created all sorts of cool little counters. Pitches come off of it. The reason Rashad scores that touchdown is because they don't know what's coming because of all the misdirection that he's been able to create in the backfield. So fucking run the ball in this game. Love of God, run the ball, lean into it. Good things will fucking happen. Third key to the game. I got 4, but third one, I kind of mentioned it earlier. Just attack on defense, man. Be aggressive, Todd. Go after this guy. If you get in Purdy's face, he's proven he could become an average quarterback. He doesn't have all these weapons that he's used to having. He's thrown 7 picks so far this season, only 10 touchdowns. Thrown for a lot of yardage, but he's looked pretty skittish without his plethora of weaponry. But of course, got CMC coming back. That's another little option he's going to always have. But if you play aggressive, in my opinion, you get after this guy, you have a chance. You have a fucking chance. And of course, last key, don't lose Kittle and don't lose CMC on the defensive side, boys. I mean, the last 4 weeks, tight ends, running backs are just wide the fuck open most of the time. They get lost with the linebackers not doing their job, the safeties not doing their jobs. Just key in on those guys. I don't expect CMC to have anywhere near the number of plays that he's usually had his first game back, but they're going to give him the ball when he's on the field because he's only going to be out there for so many plays. Key in on him. And of course, Kittle. Can't let Kittle do what Travis Kelce did to us because he's better at this point in his career than Kelce is. He's more athletic. And that boy is a fucking Iowa tight end who will absolutely break a game open, man. So please find him. Put somebody on him. Have somebody exclusively man up on his ass the entire day. Whatever it is, Todd, figure it the fuck out. Zone against this will not work. It will not work. Debo will eat it up. CMC will eat it up. And Kittle will absolutely have a fucking day. And I'm sick of seeing tight ends have days, Stank. I'm sick of it, man. Absolutely sick of it.
The problem is the 49ers have guys that eat in the middle. Debo can just destroy you in the middle of the field. You know, they have one of the best tight ends ever, I think, in Kittle. At least top 10 tight end. That guy can just destroy you in the middle of the field. It's going to be a lunch pail day. Hopefully Tyke plays. Tyke is a difference maker. Tyke should be in discussion for defensive rookie of the year. And that's being injured because the kid just produces. Like he's made more plays on the defensive side of the ball than pretty much anybody out there. Cansey quietly had a good game. Hopefully he's getting his mojo back a little bit. And Vita's doing what Vita's doing out there. And it doesn't matter. Our defensive ends are just god fucking awful. So I don't know.
A name that we haven't talked about, Zion McCollum. I have a feeling Zion's going to get a pick in this game. And I'll be curious to see how often he ends up lined up opposite of Debo, who I think he should be able to stop. Debo's not the same Debo. But again, last week, you had DeAndre Hopkins, who's not the same guy that was in, Houston. Out there having himself a day, no problem against that other Josh Hayes and whoever the fuck else we put out there could not cover him.
That poor kid. Honestly,
Debo will do the same thing.
What do you do, right? You can't constantly, help the kid out. If he's in the NFL, he's got to be able to play some man coverage. He's got to be able to be on the island a little bit. D-Hop was the wrong guy, bro. That guy's just crafty. He's done this to veterans. He does it to good corners. It was always going to be a mismatch. And of course, Andy's not stupid. They took advantage of that. Yeah.
I'm hoping Todd plays that dime package a lot. So we see Whitehead, Levante close to the line of scrimmage. Whitehead, I'm with you, Stank. He's kind of disappointed in his return to the Bucs. I think he's a little unhealthy right now. He's not playing fully healthy, but I still think he's really good around the line of scrimmage. I still think he's a difference maker in run blitzes. He's still a difference maker blitzing, getting after the quarterback. And I would take him, even with his size issue compared to other linebackers in the NFL and against run blocking, I would take him right now over any other linebacker option we have next to Levante. And that says a lot considering he's small. He's going to get blown up. But, man, I would take that option right now because he gives us more versatility against the tight ends and anybody who's going to come across the middle, and he can cover better than any of our linebackers. So take the chance, run him out there. You got Tyke Smith that makes you very, very, multiple back there. He can also play backer. He can play nickel. He can blitz. And you got Izzy and you got Winfield. Todd has enough pieces to make a lot of the shit work without having cornerback opposite of Zion. If you could get that pass rush dialed up, man, that corner doesn't have to cover for too long. Doesn't have to cover for too long. It's different when he's playing zone because he's wide open.
It's not that we just don't have a quarterback opposite of Zion. We don't even have a serviceable guy opposite of him. No, that's how bad the depth is at corner. And for as much as I'm not a huge Jamel Dean guy, I mean, he's miles and miles and miles ahead of any of these guys that we're trying to squeeze in there. It's just not. It's clearly the weakness on this team as far as depth is concerned.
The Bryce Hall injury in week 1,
that
rippled through this team, man.
It really did.
That was the guy they were really going to lean on to help with all that depth that they've had for so many years at corner. And they've lost seemingly every human being at corner throughout this season, which is pretty fucking wild. And
like I said, despite all that, we've been in these games. This team is a fighting team. We haven't really got rolled over outside of maybe the first half of the Baltimore game, and then we came swinging back in that game too. So, it's there's no give up in this team, and I think that we have a fighting chance. But man, we all looked at this 4-game stretch. Even with Godwin, even healthy, even with Dean, we all looked at this before the season and said, That's going to be a tough stretch right now. It's murderer's row, and we're on life support right now. We definitely need this win, but I don't, going back to what you said, I still feel like we can potentially, we got to play almost a perfect second half of the season post bye, but we can still do shit, man. I'm not going to give up on the season if we lose.
That's not what I was saying, man. I was saying that this game means a lot more than people realize. And in my opinion, it means a lot for what the future is going to be for Todd Bowles. He can win those next 7 games after the bye, but we can also be very realistic and say he's won them against these 7 teams.
Yep.
And the defense can still struggle in those games and the offense can still pull it off because it's those 7 teams. Okay.
Yep.
You don't have to be special on defense, and you can still say, hey, we're going to lose an offensive coordinator who's figured out a way to make this work without all his guys. And we're holding on to a defensive coordinator as a head coach whose defense has been struggling the entire year and could possibly be the reason we've lost a lot of these games.
Yep.
It's a pretty easy decision at that point. I understand the loyalty that comes with the fact that the guys love him. They play for him. The team has no way given up on Todd Bowles. And they've taken it on the chin for themselves and have looked in the mirror and said, it's on us. And I agree that it mostly is on them, but it's his unit at the end of the day. And it's his rotations too that drive me insane.
You got too many good guys in this locker room, man. Who have been here when we were terrible. Those guys, we're not that. They know that. You got guys like Devontae, and then on the other side, you got the heartbeat of this team, Baker Mayfield. So, they're gonna take on Baker's energy, and that's what they've done. This is his team. They're fighting like him, and he's putting up MVP type numbers. Unfortunately, we're not seeing it in the win column, and that's all they would have talked about. That'd be on every fucking NFL channel. Had we pulled that win off, they'd be talking about Baker's numbers right now and the fucking incredible season the kid is having right now. So, hats off to him. But whatever, we are what we are. We are what our record says we are.
If we play like we did in that first half of that game.
Yeah.
If we could really dial in.
Really good first halves.
If we can dial in like that against a Niners team who I don't think is anywhere near as good as the Chiefs, by the way, on either side of the ball. I don't care what the numbers say. Go watch their fucking games without CMC, especially. They are not the same team. I don't expect CMC to make
they're not great.
A massive difference playing, 10, 11, 12 snaps this week. He's going to have his opportunities, don't get me wrong. And obviously, we talked about George Kittle, but I think the Bucs have a chance. But my score prediction, 31-27, Bucs lose. Bucs lose 31-27. Defense still has some trouble. I think they need that bye week to figure out who the fuck's going to play linebacker. And I don't think they end up doing enough in the fourth quarter. And Daniel, maybe a little reverse psychology here. Maybe a little reverse psychology. First time I ever picked against the Bucs.
What does Bucs lose mean?
What does Bucs lose mean? Check it out.
It doesn't know. It says something about crypto.
What a dumb app. Anyway, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. We are back from Kansas City, so we're going to hit the ground running next week on a regular schedule of our shows. But we appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment if you disagreed with anything, or if you think this is a massive, massive game for Todd Bowles' future, or if you think Stank is actually right and this game doesn't matter at all, and we could lose it and still win the next 7, and everyone's going to be happy. Then
it doesn't matter at all.
Or game doesn't matter at all. And of course, don't forget to go and like our sister YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@the813TV. We will eventually be migrating over there, but that's where all the other shows on our network live, which is the 813.tv. That's the URL for the 813 network that we're now a part of, where you can find tons of cool Bucs content.
I see you, Smitty, and we need your prayers, but for some reason, Sammer doesn't want to hear him. He likes losing, evidently.
Likes losing.
He likes losing. He likes losing.
I'm a firm believer that church and state should be separated. Okay. And that's just what we're doing.
Yeah. Cody's uncle. I have a KC bar parasite in my brain, just like, what's the Kennedy guy?
And for people, B-Mox is asking me, where's the faith? Listen, it's time to use a little reverse psychology, boys.
Right. I said no faith. Didn't I say you have to be unfaithful this week in my rules?
I'm going reverse psychology. I've been picking the Bucs to win. I really don't think the Niners are a great team, but great teams seem to show up against the Bucs. So we'll find out. We'll see it. I'll be at Raymond James. I'll be loud as fuck, and it's gonna be fun. So we'll see you guys Monday night, 7:20-ish. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
take off, set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season